Does your baby fight sleep no matter what you do? Every single nap is a struggle, and you're following all the rules, but still dealing with the 20-minute nap disaster and a cranky, overtired baby that you just can't shake. I'm Jen, nurse practitioner, IBCLC, mom of 3, and today we're diving deep into the science of daytime sleep to help you and your little one find nap success. In our previous video, we talked about overtired babies and why they happen. If you haven't watched that, please go and I'll link it below because understanding the overtired cycle is crucial for what we're going to cover today. We also have a newborn sleep video that covers those early weeks, but today we're focusing specifically on the 3 to 12 month phase and the unique challenges of daytime sleep during this period. Before we jump into strategies, let's talk about why daytime sleep is so critical for your baby's development. As a healthcare provider, I want you to understand that naps aren't just a break for you. They're essential for your baby's development. There's brain development, physical growth, nighttime sleep quality, and immune system. Let's go into each one. First, brain development. During sleep, babies consolidate memories and process the incredible amount of learning that's happening every day. Research shows that adequate daytime sleep directly impacts cognitive development and emotional regulation. Their physical growth, and I tell this to every little one in my office when they're ready to hear it. Growth hormone is primarily released during sleep. You sleep and you grow. Inadequate naps can actually impact your baby's physical development. Nighttime sleep quality. We talked about in another video how overtired babies can't sleep very well. This might surprise you, but good daytime sleep actually promotes better nighttime sleep. The old saying, sleep begets sleep, is backed by science, and well-rested babies sleep better at night. Then there's the immune system. Sleep is when the body repairs and strengthens the immune system. Chronically overtired babies get sick more often. The key point here is that fighting naps isn't just exhausting for you, it's affecting and impacting your baby's health and development. I want to acknowledge that something that many parenting resources don't address. Some babies are naturally more resistant to sleep than others. This isn't your fault. This temperament plays a huge role in sleep patterns. And if you have a baby who fights sleep, it doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. We'll talk more about those individual temperaments a little bit later on in this video, but just know that your baby's individual needs have to work with their natural rhythms rather than against them, and that can make a dramatic difference. That's what we're going to focus on today. So, age-appropriate wake windows. The foundation of successful naps is getting the timing right. Wake windows are how long your baby can stay awake before they need that next sleep session. And it changes as we grow and develop in this first year. 3 to 4 months, you might have 1.5 to 2 hours in between naps. As soon as you see those sleep cues, they're going to bed. 4 to 6 months, 2.5 hours. 6 to 8 months, you might be getting up to 3 hours of time in between naps. 8 to 10 months, 3.5 hours, and then 10 to 12 months, up to 4 hours. Now again, this changes with each baby. These are starting points, not rigid rules. Your baby might need slightly shorter or longer wake windows. Don't watch the clock. You're either completely ignoring the clock or completely a slave to it. And we want to have the sweet spot somewhere in between. You have to watch the clock and your baby's cues. So the early sleep cues to watch for, staring off into space where they're just not really interactive. They're alert and quiet, but they're not really wanting to play and look at themselves in the mirror or make funny faces at you. They become a little less active and a little more still. They might get a little bit more fussy than usual, but not to that crying stage, and they might be putting their hand to their eyes or their ears. The late sleep cues means you've missed the window. They might be crying, arching their back, fighting being held, and they might be a little hyperactive. If you're seeing late cues, your baby is likely already overtired, and you'll need to shorten the next wake window to catch them a little bit sooner. It might take longer for them to wind down once you've hit that late sleep cue cycle. So just like bedtime, naps need a routine as well, but it should be shorter, about 10 to 15 minutes total. This might include a diaper change, a quick feeding if needed, but not to fall asleep. Dimming the lights out, having the white noise machine turned on, and having the same sleep space when possible. Consistency helps to signal that your baby's sleep is coming. Having those wake windows was great, but now let's talk about nap schedules. Let's break down what a normal pattern of nap looks like in this first year. So between months 3 and 4, they're usually getting about 3 to 4 naps a day. They'll have a morning nap 1 to 2 hours after they wake up from the night. They'll have a midday nap, which is often the longest one. Late afternoon nap, which is usually shorter. Sometimes a brief nap right before bedtime after dinner. 6 to 9 months, you're going to see 2 to 3 naps. A morning nap, which is usually an hour, hour and a half, and an afternoon nap, often an hour and a half to 2 hours. Third nap optional if needed to get into that bedtime routine. 9 to 12 months, you're down to 2 naps. You're going with a morning nap and an afternoon nap. And again, the afternoon nap is going to be a little bit longer. Remember these averages. Some babies consolidate their naps earlier, sometimes they're later. Follow your baby's cues. The 20-minute nap problem is where most of us get into trouble. Short naps are incredibly common and frustrating. And here's what's happening. Babies have sleep cycles just like adults, but there's about 45 minutes compared to our 90 minutes. And many babies wake up after one cycle and can't connect to the next one. So here are some key strategies for extending that really short nap. First, try to wait it out. If baby wakes up after 20 to 30 minutes, give them 10 to 15 minutes to settle and see if they can get back into that next sleep cycle. Check your environment. If it's too bright, too noisy, too hot, too cold, readjust. Timing. They might be overtired or undertired. Both will have the same effect of having a disrupted sleep pattern. And consistency. It can take 2 to 3 weeks of consistent timing for next naps to get actually longer. Then there's the temperament issue. This is crucial and often overlooked, but babies have their own personalities and different temperaments can affect their sleep. You've got the sensitive sleeper. They're easily overwhelmed by stimulation. They're very consistent. They need that consistency. They need those routines. They need longer wind down times, and they often do better with earlier bedtimes. Then there's the alert baby, the high need for stimulation. They might fight sleep because they have FOMO. They don't want to miss anything going on. And often they need help learning how to self-soothe, whether that's sucking on a pacifier or having that early swaddle when they're little. And then they might do better with slightly longer wake windows as well as they settle. Then you've got the easygoing baby. Generally adaptable, they can often sleep anywhere, whether it's the car seat, the crib, the stroller. They can be the dream baby. But you have to identify what your baby's type is and adjust your approach accordingly. And then here's a key concept. You want to be consistent, but not rigid. This means if your baby wakes up early from nighttime sleep, you want to shift the whole schedule a little earlier. If a nap is disrupted by life, whether it's an appointment or a dog barking, adjust the next wake window a little earlier. Then you want to pay attention to developmental leaps and growth spurts that can impact and disrupt sleep, whether they're waking up hungry more often, or they're having that 4-month sleep adjustment where they're always in that lighter sleep and they wake up every hour. That happens, and it just takes time to get you through to the next phase. Be willing to experiment with timing adjustments. Find what works for your baby, but again, it can take a while before you figure that out. So what are some signs that your baby might need to adjust? You might need to adjust your schedule if it's consistently taking 30 minutes to fall asleep for naps. Your naps are consistently very short despite good timing. You're fighting bedtime more than usual. Multiple night wakings return after a good period of sleep, and sometimes overtired despite following age-appropriate wakey windows. If you're stuck in an overtired cycle, here's how to reset. Shorten your wake windows by about 15 to 30 minutes. Accept shorter naps if baby will actually sleep. Consider contact naps or car or stroller naps if you need to, and get an earlier bedtime, even 6 p.m. if necessary. Then days 4 through 7, make a gradual adjustment by slowly extending those wake windows back toward the age-appropriate timelines. Work on independent sleep skills that you weren't able to do before because you were stuck in that cycle, and keep maintaining those earlier bedtimes until the daytime sleep improves. After this first week, you'll find your rhythm. You can fine-tune your timing based on your baby's responses and establish more consistent routines, and just trust the process. It takes time and patience. The common mistakes can happen, and these strategies often backfire. Keeping your baby up longer, hoping they'll be more tired, it always backfires. Don't do it. Skipping naps to save sleep for bedtime, it doesn't work. You get a cranky, overtired baby at bedtime, and it usually takes longer for them to wind down. You're constantly changing approaches. Your consistency is what gives them the ability to wind down for the sleep. So give strategies 2 to 3 weeks to work before you try a different one. And assuming all crying means something is wrong. Some fussing during these adjustment periods are completely normal as part of the learning process. Be patient. Let's talk about some troubleshooting of 3 major issues. First, when your baby refuses the crib. If your baby fights the crib at naps but sleeps well there at night, you got half of it right. You got to start small. Practice crib time when baby is calm and awake. Let them be familiar with the space. Use the same sleep space for naps and sleep at night when possible. Make those environmental changes if you need to. Make sure the room is dark. Use those blackout curtains. Make sure that the noise machine is on, and make sure that they've got a gradual transition going on. So if you've been doing contact naps for forever, transitions are going to help more than cold turkey. They're not sure what's going on. Then the second thing, managing multiple children at home. Nap time with other kids around requires a strategy, and we need to have that in place. So make sure it's a quiet time for everyone. Non-napping children can have quiet activities, whether it's reading, working on a puzzle, quiet playtime with each other. Making sure they have a staggered schedule sometimes. When possible, align the naps or quiet times so they overlap each other. But it's hard when there's, one baby that's going down for 2 naps and the other one for 1, and they're alternating. White noise is important. It's crucial for blocking out those household noises. And then having realistic expectations. Some days won't be perfect, and that's okay. What happens when you have to travel and all the schedules get disrupted? Life happens, and schedules get disrupted all the time. So here's how to minimize that impact. Maintain your routines as much as possible. Even if timing shifts with different time zones and things, try to keep the nap time routine consistent. One bad nap day won't ruin everything. Just get back on track the next day. And try to bring your portable sleep aids, whether it's white noise, a familiar blanket, whatever you've got to do to keep those consistencies. That'll make it easier to be good on your daytime naps as well. Remember, developing good nap habits is a process, not a destination, because as soon as you get familiar with one stage, they're going to shift. So be patient and flexible. There will be good days, there will be challenging days, developmental leaps that disrupt sleep, and times when you just need to adjust your approach. The key takeaways are timing matters more than duration initially. Consistency helps, but the flexibility within that structure is important. Work with your baby's temperament, not against it, and it's normal for this to take time. Be patient with yourself and your baby. If you found this helpful, make sure to watch our video on overtired babies for more context, and our newborn sleep video if you're just starting this journey. What's your biggest nap challenge? Let me know in the comments below, and remember, you are doing better than you think you are. Don't forget to subscribe for more evidence-based parenting content, and I'll see you in the next video.